In our last session, we looked at device chain navigation. Here, I have a situation where I have two instruments enabled. And I kind of like the idea of stacking those into one easily managed instrument for live play. So it makes intuitive sense to be able to right-click the title bar of my operator, select copy, go to the electric instrument, and in the track view, right-click and say paste. Everything says that I can do it. I have a paste menu. I have a dialog that says I can do it. But when I try to do it, bam, I can't do it. All right, so this is the concept of chaining. I just literally need to chain my operator and my electric together in one device. I am going to, first of all, be required to put this into a rack. How so? Apple G or a right-click menu will give me a group function. So if I'm working with drum samples, like an entire drum kit, 88 different samples up and down the keyboard, I go here. If I'm doing like a multi-sample or two soft instruments like I'm working with here, I'm just going to group this. And I'm going to say group. And all of a sudden, I get a device rack. I have my macro controls, and I have this, the device chain. And I still have in my clipboard the operator instrument. And so I can do it two ways. I can copy it here, or I can copy it out here. Just do it this way. Right click, copy. Now I'm going to disable the original operator, and here we have what? A stack. This is a chain. This is what is known as a chain. And furthermore, I have a down arrow in my mixer, which is going to give me control over this from the mix perspective. Now these controls are also evidenced here. If I pan this to the left, I see it, or to the right, I see it go to the right here, and etc. I can turn them on and off. I can solo them. I can hot swap them, okay? Everything about everything is all good right there. All right, so that's it. That's a device chain. Nothing more, nothing less. Very, very easy to make and musical as well. Okay, so I can proceed here to, build some kind of a patch, a multi-layered patch. I, for instance, will just give a little attempt. Go to my library. I'm going to add a MIDI effect. I'm going to just to say on arpeggiator. And just do classic up and down. And I want to stick it in right in here. Paste. Okay. Problem is that it's only on the Wurlitzer. So I can copy things from chain to chain. Right click, copy. Go to my string saw, stick myself right in here. And this can be a little bit of a tricky move sometimes. But I want to try and basically shoehorn my way in between these two things. So I'm going to select that, right click, paste, and there I have it. It just added it before the chain instead of after. It's no big deal. Okay, what about splits and different things within the chain? Easy. I can select my bass and I can go to the key. Now I get a dialog here, and this basically shows me my range. If I don't want bass, say that I don't want bass anywhere near the high portions of my patch. So it's everywhere from C2 down is gone, bass. Okay, these are splits, and it works, it works this way. I can do faded overlaps. I get a fade dialog by activating that white bar. Just like this, and just like that. So now when I go past this one octave, I'm fading between my two sounds, okay? The same with velocity. If I wanted to change all this out, so what I want to do is create a situation where when I play lightly, I'm going to hear my bass and not my Wurlitzer. Now I can do two things. I can do a fade on the Wurlitzer, or I can just bail. So down low there is only sawtooth, and then when I dig on the key, okay, and then that's how we deal with velocities. Okay, the harder I dig, I access that sample. The less hard that I dig, I access this sample. Okay, the aspect of chains is a little bit beyond the range of our discussion, but it's, again, easily understood by opening up the editor and taking a look at that. All right, so in the next session, we're going to experiment with mapping some of these macro controls, and we'll start with just a regular live preset to understand how it's done.